Hey guys, welcome to Ergon One TV. Today we're going to review the Hatsan Blitz and how to tune it. Like many others, I'm a big lover of the Hatsan Blitz. I love the way it works, having the capability to shoot in semi and full auto. It's a super accurate gun and it's pretty reliable, especially when it's tuned on the right way. I've been selling this Blitz for a long time and painfully, seems like on the factory, in Hatsan factory, whoever is tuning the guns on the line of production, sometimes I believe they're not even checking the speed on. So you buy a brand new Blitz, pressurize the tank, put a fresh magazine, fully loaded, start shooting, and it jams. That's very normal. Sometimes they got to be tweaked a little bit to in order to make them work right, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is we need to understand what velocity your gun is shooting. On this case, this is a 22, and a 22 Blitz should be shooting about 920, 930. Some of them, they even touching the 1,000 feet per second with a 14.3, like a Crossman. So, you know, the Blitz is pretty much operated by pressure. The piston on the shroud actually pushes back against the action in the receiver via pressure. So sometimes if the gun is shooting too slow, doesn't have enough power, doesn't have enough juice, it won't cycle. That's why they're offering jams all the time. So let's make a run through the chronograph on the way it is. Let's see how that works, and we move from there. I'm gonna shoot in semi. It works in semi. Let's try in full auto. Okay, so we hit a jam. So we're gonna check the speed, the velocity that this gun is shooting. We're gonna find out why it's jamming. Let me remove the magazine and clear the jam. There we go. All right, after checking the velocity against the chronograph, I find out that the gun is shooting in the high 880s, 890s. That's not enough for a brand new factory Blitz. Of course, there is not enough blowback there. And of course, it's gonna cause a jam, either in semi or full auto, doesn't really matter. So there is a couple of things that you have to check before you start tuning your gun. If you have a chronograph, that's great, because it's going to tell you exactly what velocity your gun is shooting, and then you know from there if you have to go up or down. Sometimes when they're shooting too hot and too fast, that also might produce a jam. So in a 22 caliber, the velocity should be about no more than 1,000 feet per second in the high 900s, 930s, 950s, 980s. And on the 25 caliber, you should be on the 850s, 875 should be a good velocity. And for the 30 caliber Blitz, usually anything after over 700 feet per second is going to make a cycle right. Remember that the Blitz 30 is kind of a platform that's being pushed to the limit, and then you cannot squeeze more than 750 feet per second out of it, no matter how much you tune it. But on for the 30 caliber, 720, 730 should be working okay. So the first thing we're gonna check is that the gun is gotta be properly lubricated. This is very important. This is the auto seal right here. This piece right here. This is a piece that disengages the hammer when you shoot in full auto. It should be lubricated. A little bit of silicone oil. and also the pellet probe. By lubing the pellet probe a little bit, you are lubing the O-ring inside of the bridge, and that's gonna ensure the proper sealment in there so you don't have any gas leakage when the gun goes off. Don't over lube it, just enough. Another very important issue with some blitz, right here, that's the barrel of the blitz sticking out a little bit. You can move the barrel forward or backward. You can move it each way. The problem sometimes the blitz has the barrel moved too much towards the magazine, and that makes the magazine to jam. The magazine must fit very smoothly on it. There's got to be no effort to install the magazine on it. If you feel that you have to push it too hard, the barrel is pushing against the magazine here, and these magazines are fragile, and sometimes with a little bit of pressure will prevent the red star, the center, from spinning properly or spinning at the speed that is supposed to spin in order to feed the gun. So that's something that you have to check. Make sure that the magazine fits snug but not tight. Okay, so we got the gun lubed. We checked all the tolerances, especially on the magazine. Everything works nice and smooth. And let me tell you a quick story. I had brand new Blitz chronographing out of the box at the right velocity, cycling 100% on semi or either full auto. And a month or 2 months later, the gun doesn't cycle. Okay, the gun jams and jams and jams all the time. So I run it through the chronograph again after only a month, and I find out that the gun is shooting 100 feet per second less than the last test, the last chronographing test. This is very important. This is a very typical mistake in almost every single Blitz owner. If you keep the Blitz stored like that, you are compressing the hammer spring 100%. This hammer spring is under full tension right now. This is a very bad idea. Okay, you cannot store the gun locked on the rear. And in fact, if the gun is totally empty, there is no more ammo, you shot the last shot out of it. By doing this, releasing the bolt, we are in the same situation because the hammer is still loaded. The hammer spring is all the way retracted to the back. So what you have to do in order to store the Blitz away without over compressing this hammer, without having this hammer losing tension over time, losing speed in the same way, you have to decock it. Before you store your Blitz away, please decock it. This is the way you decock it. The gun is cocked, she's ready to go. So you remove the magazine, you release this. Again, you're not doing anything by just doing that. You're gonna hold the bolt like a halfway, and then you're gonna pull the trigger. There we go. There is no more spring tension on it. Now the spring or the hammer spring is relieved. There's no pressure on it. It's not compressed. It's not going to lose any tension. That's a good tip for you guys. So let's take apart this guy. We're going to start tuning it. We got, let's say, 850, 880 feet per second. We're going to try to take it to at least 940, 930, 940, and see how the gun cycles after that. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to remove the stock. It's only one screw. Okay, on this case scenario, we got a laser on this one. So we're going to disconnect the laser. And also, we have a sling. And this laser off, flashlight off. Okay, so stock is out. And then now we're going to loose up the spring guide, the hammer spring guide. Right here, I'm going to show you in a picture later. Some people believe this is to tune or to increase the tension on the hammer spring right here, the one that goes with a flat screw. It's not. This is just a spring guide. This is to prevent the hammer spring from getting crooked inside there. It's just a guide. Now, with the gun totally decocked on this hole right here, this is a tiny hole. You're gonna insert I believe it's a 1.5 millimeter, and then we're gonna loose up a set screw that is inside there. There we go. We're gonna loose it up. After loosening this set screw, we're gonna insert, let's see, this is a 3 millimeter, okay? And then we're gonna start tuning the hammer. The blitz is opposite of most guns. If you go clockwise, you're slowing down. If you go counterclockwise, you're increasing the speed. So let's go 2 full turns. 1, 2, let's do 3 full turns. 3 full turns on the hammer spring. Of course, counterclockwise to increase speed. And then we're gonna secure this little set screw here again. Be careful with this set screw. It's very tiny, and then you can strip it really easily if you over crank it. If you're not careful, you can strip it. If you strip it, you're gonna be in trouble. Just barely cranking it, because I don't know if I gotta go more or not, so I'm gonna go over. So we're gonna reinsert the hammer, the spring guide. Doesn't have to be really tight, okay? It's just enough. Sorry, I got a bad position to work right here. I got to be in the camera, and I'm not ugly position right now. Let's see, okay, just enough. Okay, we're gonna reinstall the stock on it, and then we're gonna give it another chronograph test. Perfect. Okay, let's get the chronograph and the camera ready, and we go for a second chronograph test. Okay, so everything is running. The camera and the chronograph, I see it from here, is running. Let's do a quick chronograph run to see those 3 turns on the main spring, how much velocity gave us. Semi-auto, okay. Give it a try. It failed to read. We got a no reading there. Let's do it again. $9.95. So we are on the speed, guys. Okay, first mag. 984. I'm gonna put the recording of the chronograph on the video anyways. Okay, let's give it a quick burst and full auto. I'm gonna do like few quick bursts until the magazine's empties out. Done. No jamming. Empty mag. So what I'm gonna do now, yeah, it went down to 969 after 2 magazines. So now we look in the gun was full on 225 bar. Now we're exactly in 200 bar. So we shot pretty much 3 magazines. What I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna remove the stock once again because we need to now to snug the little set screw or the hammer screw, okay? To make sure that you don't lose your adjustments now. Again, when you do that, just be careful, go easy on it. You can remove that tiny set screw very carefully, make sure that the screw doesn't fall inside of the action. If that happens, you're gonna have to disassemble the whole gun painfully. So if you can remove that tiny set screw and put just a mini drop of blue Loctite and snug it back in, again, just enough. Do not over crank it, because if you over crank it, next time you're not gonna be able to remove it or loose it up. Okay. Okay, guys, there were a few quick, easy tips to get your blitz functioning 100%. This only requires only a few Allen wrenches and a flat screwdriver. It takes no more than maybe 5 to 10 minutes to get the specific tuning that you want on your blitz. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.